me, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 2 of the Online Video Web Hovel. I'm going to be focusing mainly on old low-techs for this video. Every machine in this video has got a £4.80 or a £6 jackpot, one way or another. There's been a bit of a bevy of low-techs, old low-techs released at Desert Island Fruits recently. And even though low-techs aren't my favourite type of machine to play, I did play them. Low-techs back in the day, you would find low-tech machines in pubs, and during my addict phase, I would just play whatever machine was available. I didn't care if it was a high-tech or not. So I did play low-techs in the pub when that was all there was to play, and I wasn't averse to playing them in the arcades either. As the jackpots got bigger and bigger, I fell out with them very, very much. That they became really quite dull to play for real as those jackpots got bigger. But I can be charmed by a low-tech when they've got a small jackpot. And that's what we're going to be looking at in this video here. We've got some low-techs, we've got what you might call a mid-tech. And there is one single high-tech machine that I want to cover, which is, where is it? Manhattan Skylines, which was kind of just decoration in the video about AWP jackpot dates, the case closed video. And this has kind of been on the ever-lengthening list of videos that I need to make. I've always wanted to do a little bit of a segment about Manhattan Skylines, so an episode, a video episode of the Hovel, seems like the perfect time to give Manhattan Skylines here its chance to shine, because it's a fantastic machine. If it's before your day, if it's before you... I mean, God, some of the younger members of the scene, this machine could literally have been released before you were born. This is one that you should seek out and have a go on, so I'll be highlighting this one in the video as well, and hopefully my enthusiasm for the machine will come through to you as well. So I'll start with these two here, which are Jolly Joker and Jolly Taverner. These are two distinct machines, even though they really do seem to be straight clones of each other in every single way. They do use distinct ROMs, and when they boot up you can see that they are loading in different ROMs on different revisions as well. Taverner here says TAV, I think it's 1.3, and Jolly Joker says JOJ 1.6, so they are two different machines. Key thing here about Jolly Joker is it's actually the first release by Big J, a very active member of the community. He's only joined us in, you can see there, he joined us in June of 2018. He's a very active member over at Desert Island Fruits, and he has now made his first layout. It was a collaboration between him and Bungle. This is Big J's first layout. It's a really nice DX. I have nothing but respect for people who take the plunge into the emulator's tools and really go to the trouble to learn what they're doing and actually create a layout. It's not easy. I have kind of dabbled with it myself way back in the early days of Fruit Machine emulation, and kind of did do a classic. And it's really hard work. The emulator is an incredibly powerful tool, but it's kind of not fully documented. There's no document set that you can refer to. I mean, Chris, when he was still with us, would always answer questions on the forums, but as I've mentioned in the past, he could be quite abrupt if you made the mistake of asking the same question twice. So there's always been a bar to entry when it comes to making layouts for MFME. So like I say, I really do respect anyone who takes the time to get under the hood of this thing and really make the effort to release their own layout. So Big J here released his first in Jolly Joker, and Jolly Taverner here, which you can see, these really are, as far as I can tell, the absolute epitome of a straight reglass. We got Jolly Taverner and Jolly Joker, both Barcrest £4.80 jackpot machines. So congratulations to Big J for releasing his layouts. Thank you to Bungle for Jolly Taverner, and Bungle also, as Big J does acknowledge, there was a very big assist on getting the Jolly Joker DX made as well. Now, machine-wise, these are not the best, and I remember one of these. I can't remember which one it was. Let's just get some... We'll start on Jolly Taverner here for no particular reason. They are basically the same machine as far as I can tell. I remember, I think it was in a pub in Wigan, because one of my friends lived in Wigan in the early 90s, so he would sometimes do a night out in Wigan. And it was either Jolly Taverner or it was Jolly Joker that was in a pub in Wigan. Now, I would always play, like I said, whatever was in a pub, I would just play, I would just put money in and play it, but I was never particularly pleased to see a low-tech machine like this in a pub. Particularly a basic one. I mean, some low-tech machines were quite classy and quite interesting to play, but these ones, I could have got cherries there. Let's go for a hold after nudges, but these are, as they seem fairly flat and uninteresting. And one of the machines that I'm going to get to as part of this video is a low-tech that, by all accounts, almost looks like a knockoff. I'll just tell you now up front. It's this one here by PCP called Little Devil, which if you look across at the pay table and the general kind of this whole wild thing for the two top wins where you can do the multiple ways to win, really does look like a cheap knockoff job, but I think is a better machine. So I played, just to refresh my memory, so these are not the first credits that I put through this. I put £100, oh there's the secret hold by the way, look for the cancel button flashing. I put £100 through Jolly Taverner earlier today, and I don't mean on autoplay, I mean on manual play, playing all the through credits, the credits through myself, and frankly it kind of reminded me that I thought this was a fairly dull machine back in the day, and I don't think it's improved with age. And what I'll hopefully show here is that you can do a machine like this and make it kind of entertaining and fun, which is what I believe PCP did with Little Devil. So I've also put a fair chunk of cash through Little Devil, and it is very much the more interesting of the two machines for my money. Now the thing with Jolly Taverner and Jolly Joke here, like I say, they are basically the same machine, is they've got two win lines. So you can see there we've got a top win line and a bottom win line, and both win lines pay up to a maximum of the jackpot, so you can't get more than £4.80 on a single spin. And you can see that your top two pays, the jokers and the bars, are 8 ways to win, so they can be across the two win lines. But there's not really much going on apart from the secret hold. There doesn't seem to be, which is not particularly secret because it flashes the light at you. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount going on in terms of gameplay complexity, which of course is kind of baked into a low-tech to an extent, but you can make low-techs, we'll hold those two there, you can make low-techs a little bit more engaging than this, I think. And one of the key things that we're going to see compared to, say, Little Devil is you can see this Jolly Taverner logo here, or the Jolly Joker logo there. This has got like 5 segments that it can fill up, and you will see it happen. Oh, it has held after nudges there, so we have got a hold after nudges for a jackpot. We'll get the amazing jackpot sequence here. There we are, big £4.80 jab. I haven't had it do a hold on a jackpot yet. Can we get, look at the cancel button. No, it doesn't want to hold on a jackpot, but it kind of, there's a few things wrong with it. It doesn't always obey hold after nudges properly. So one thing I was trying to do, can you see there, you've got these 7s that are stacked. So I eventually got it, and I got hold after nudges on that real configuration there. So you would think there, a hold after nudges on that would then give you, because they are stacked, you can see there.
A few minutes later.
You know what? They're not stacked on reel 3. I put, oh, so that's why it only does a single win line on 7s. That's scummy reel design, isn't it? So, okay. So when you get the double stacks of 7s, you can't actually get 2 win lines of 7s coming in, because that doesn't, oh, hang on, just the wrong one there. You can't get the stacks in like that. Over £100, and I didn't fill in the Jolly Taverner logo there. I've got close. I've got 4 of them a few times, and I really wanted to be able to tell you what would happen if you filled in the Jolly Taverner logo, but it just doesn't want to do it. That's something that Little Devil does, by the way, is it will fairly regularly fill in the logo for you, and it's got like several different features that it can give you. So as nice as it is to see these old machines emulated, I was actually reminded of why I didn't like them very much and why it was a disappointing machine. So there we are. So you've got 3 of them there. It might hold. No, it did. sometimes it'll flash and do a hold. Sometimes it'll flash and do a hold a couple of times, but we didn't get it there. So this has to go in, I think. As lovely as it is to see a machine emulated, this has to go in the not great category and actually kind of fits from what I remember with this machine. It loves to do that as well. It'll just spin in these small shitty wins. Sometimes it'll hold them. Sometimes it doesn't do holds after nudges very often either, which is one of the very few things that low-techs can actually do. It doesn't do it very often, and it doesn't necessarily... We saw there it's got the real configuration where you can't get the double sevens, so we'll try and get a jackpot out of it. I did get a jackpot out of it before. I haven't had it hold a jackpot yet, and it doesn't seem to be... And this is the other thing, it doesn't seem to have any kind of streak in it. I've never had a streak out of one of these back in the early 90s, and... It just does stuff. You can look at the cancel button flashing there and that will give you your secret hold. But beyond that, there's really not much going on with this one. And it does stuff like that. Oh, there's the secret hold. We got that. That's the cardinal... One of the cardinal sins for me with the fruit machine is where you're trying to hold things, you're trying to nudge things, and then it will just spin in a win, and a crap win at that. It very much reminds me of the worst kind of machines that Barcrest were making at this era. This really flat profile. There should be a 7 up there, shouldn't there? There we are. This really flat... They're high-techs at the time, the £4, all the flash cash and all that kind of thing, which were incredibly flat profile. Really dire machines to play. Possibly Barcrest's lowest ebb was the £4 era with those horribly low profile. So there we've got the stacked double sevens there, and I didn't actually realise even there isn't actually a 7 next to a wild. So why put stacked sevens? You can see there, why put stacked sevens on the reels when you can't actually get them on reel 3? That's a bit crappy. So there we are, we've got 2 of the segments there, and it didn't hold. So we can get melons. You kind of get the idea here. These are not... I tried my best. Like I say, I put £100 through this earlier today. We'll move over to Jolly Joker. It's exactly the same machine. And it'll do the same. These are hard machines to like. As much as I can be charmed by a low-tech that's got some gameplay going on, that's got some fun to it, it's hard to recommend these two. They have to go into for me. And I'm sorry if anyone has great memories of these. For my money, they have to go into the nice memory, but not really great to play category. So I'm assuming we've got the same reels there. Yeah, you can see we don't have those double stack sevens. That is a really scummy little trick on the reels. And an obvious thing that, for me, in terms of gameplay, they've missed there. Because it will pay on both win lines, and there are configurations on the reels where you get 2 win lines. I think there's one with the sevens and one with the melons, which makes for like a £3.40 win. So it will add them both together. So having both lots of sevens there, stack sevens across all 3 reels. Let's just put another £1 in there. Seems like a bit of a no-brainer to me. 3 holds don't work, by the way. Oh, sorry, I had a nudge there, but yeah, you saw there. We got 3 holds, they don't work. It's holding the joke thing. It's answers on a postcard. If you know what this thing does when you fill up all the segments, and you can see there, it's doing the same thing. There's our secret hold for 60p. It really is. I didn't like these machines, and that they were like proper shitty machines to find in a pub. Bearing in mind what was around at the time, at the £4.80 era. You know, had, say, BFM with something like Double Chance, which was a machine in pubs at the time. And then you had, frankly, shite like this from Barcrest, which is not a great machine to play. So I doff my cap to Big J for making his first layout, and I thank you to both Bungle and Big J. Jolly Taverner by Bungle, Jolly Joker there, a collaboration effort between them. It's been nice to play them from a slight memory perspective, but after chucking £100 through it earlier today and what I've put through here, you kind of get the way that this thing plays. And what I'll do is I will move on to Little Devil, which is kind of feels like the same machine in a lot of ways, but plays an awful lot better. And you can see that doesn't hold after nudges very often. It can do it, but it doesn't really like to do it. We'll give it another couple of quid. Just can we get a hold after nudges there? No. These were machines that it almost seems impossible to win out of. I'm not quite sure how you were supposed to win out of these things, particularly with the tokens going on as well. And you see there, it just wants to spin in 60p. It'll spin in the melons for a quid. Really flat profile machines. Not much going on. These are on, by the way. Certainly Jolly Taverner, I think, is on an 88% payout. They might just drop £2.40 straight in. It might hold if we're lucky. Let's look for the cancel button flashing. No, we don't have a hold. Very, very dreary flat profile machines. Not Barcrest's finest hour. But it is nice. It's nice to have them emulated. And nice to have them playable. I was kind of hoping we would see that fucking logo fill up. But 100 quid in early today. Whatever I've just put in now. And it doesn't seem to want to do it on any kind of regular basis. We'll play off the credits here. But fairly dire machines. So let's work our way up to Little Devil, which I think is a far better machine. This is a PCP rebuild. It's running on the Scorpion 1 tech, and you can tell here from the cabinet, this is very much BFM. You can tell from the buttons, the coin mechs there. So this looks like a PCP rebuild into a BFM machine. It's on the Scorpion 1 tech. It doesn't have any samples. It's all internally generated sound. But this is, for my money, a massively, massively better game than Jolly Joker / Jolly Taverner. Even though it looks, you can see there, just looking at the pay tables, the win structure, the game structure, it looks like it's the same thing, but there is far more going on with this. I've put a fair few quid through this thing because it's quite an enjoyable game to play. So we can obviously nudge in a quid there. Your £2.40 pays 8 ways and your jackpot pays 8 ways. I did just deliberately nudge away from it there because what I want to try and do is encourage it into giving us the Little Devil feature, which it does like to do. You've got the same thing going on there with the logo, which you can see fills in kind of at random. I can't find any way. And I remember thinking about this or pondering over this back in the day. Was there some kind of any way that you could control that? It just fills in randomly when it wants to. But unlike Jolly Joker, Jolly Taverner, this one does actually fill up. So let's get the... and you can hold there. Your Joker is wild, so we can hold on that one. It hasn't held there. I am just going to hold out. I'm going to be slightly aggressive here in what I'm going for. And just try and fill in the logo there. And get one of the random features. So now that is a hold after nudge. Now that should give us, because the Joker is wild, that should give us £2.40. Okay, that wasn't £2.40 there. Did I miss something there? Yeah, I've just gone back and reviewed the footage, and that was a Joker in a double bar, but it decided Joker in a triple bar rather, but it decided to give us the Joker and the double bar. So not entirely sure what happened there. But what we are got now, this is the thing. Look out for the lights flashing here, so you can do there. That should be a nudge up. So if I hold down cancel, I can do a nudge up. But you can see stop is lit, and this will like step the reels down like that. So obviously I can nudge in. Well, it's melons there, isn't it? I mean, I can nudge up that way. So I'll just show you the nudge up there as well. So you can. It doesn't have a win. Well, that's something that Jolly Joker and Jolly Taverner don't have. I've got stop there, so I can press stop again, so it's only giving us 60p. But you will see more going on with this, even though it ostensibly looks like very much the same machine. Now, the thing with Little Devil is, I don't remember ever seeing this on a £4.80 jackpot. I do remember the machine when the layout was released over at Desert Island Fruits, and I saw the thumbnail. Yeah, so just that little thumbnail there. I was like, oh, I remember that one. But only on the sort of 2p stake. This was in the arcades of Blackpool on a 2p play with the prizes adjusted accordingly. Your melons were like 10p or 20p. Single bars would be 40p, your double bars 50p, something like that. Then your jackpot would be like £2 or £2.40. So I do remember seeing it, but never on the kind of big boy stake and prize configuration. So it's been really interesting to play this on the full fat £4.80 jackpot. Let's just have a look. No hold there. It's actually playing a little bit tighter. I'm slightly disappointed with how it's playing. But hopefully we'll get a... we'll fill up the logo before too long, hopefully. The other thing with this is it's incredibly difficult to actually get the jackpot out of it because of the way the reels are configured. And because of the fact that your little devil fella himself there is a wild. It's really, really hard to actually get a jackpot. So, and I have failed several times. There is a little feature when you fill up the logo. One of the things it can do is give you unlimited nudges, but the first win that you nudge in, it will actually award you. And I have failed on the 3 or 4 times that I've had the unlimited nudges. I have failed, and I've nudged in something else by accident. So I would like to try and get a jackpot while we're actually on the camera here, as it were. There we are. Get me fingers in the right place. So do you get little follow me things sometimes like that? And we've just got a quid there. That's all, unfortunately. Sometimes you can get like a respin feature as well. There's loads of different things that it can do. Even though it looks like a very simple low-tech, the same as the 2 jolly machines there, there's far more going on with this one. And this layout, by the way, is by Multi-Retro Man, who has started. He's, again, a relative newcomer to the scene. You can see there, joined us on in February 2019. He has released a few layouts now. He's getting better with every single release. Mavros did the classic, by the way. Mavros did the classic for Little Devil, and now Multi-Retro Man has turned it into a DX. So, as ever, always important to give thanks to our layout designer, so thank you to Mavros for the classic, and to Multi-Retro Man, who is, like I say, he's spreading his wings in terms of layout creation. He's released a few layouts now, and this is a it's a photo-based TX. You can see we've even got the kind of flash burn in there as well, which I don't mind. It's a really weird thing. It's I kind of covered this in the previous video. There's something about photo-based DXs, and in some ways slightly grubby photo-based DXs, which kind of reminds you of what real machines look like when you were playing them, because generally speaking you were playing them in badly lit environments. Or I've got a nudge up there, not noticed. So that will obey hold after nudges there, but only for 1 win line of melons. So I've never had a problem with these. Oh, there's our secret hold, by the way. I've never had a problem with these obvious photo-based DXs that still look like photos, because it does remind me of what machines look like when actually play. Oh, I meant to fucking hold that there. So we've got another £2. It's not actually behaving very well in terms of getting the Little Devil feature itself. Although they've done a good job, I think, with making it's a fairly good sounding machine, despite the fact it's limited in its sound hardware. They've done a fairly good job with the base Scorpion 1 tech, because there's no samples on this. It's just a single small data ROM. There are no samples on this. Now that there is the token win that it likes to do. So you see there we've got double wins. We've got a £2 win and a £3 win. So that is £3 tokens. So the thing with the jackpot is not the fact that it's like it thinks it's low on tokens, so it can't pay a token win. It will pay token wins, but it's fucking damn near impossible to actually get a jackpot out of it. So what I'll do is I'll try and fill up our Little Devil logo, which despite me saying it likes to fill it up, it's absolutely failing to do, and making a total liar out of me. We'll try and fill that logo up and get one of the kind of hidden features. You can hold that there, because the see there, we've got a little gamble up. So we've certainly got £2, haven't we? So you can see there we can get £2. Let's see if it'll let us do a hold after nudges for the £2.40. No, it won't. So let's fill up the Little Devil logo. Let's just do that gamble first. So you can see there we've got £2. But what I will push for here is a little devil feature. Or I'd like to try and get a jackpot, because I honestly haven't had a £4.80 jackpot out with this yet. Okay, it has just filled up the little devil there. Now this is the unlimited nudges. Right, you can see there it's flashing the jackpot at me. So I can nudge up or I can nudge down. The hard part here is not nudging in a win by accident, because the first win that you nudge in, it will collect. Oh, like that. I just did it again. I didn't, because the fucking double bar is wild. Sorry, triple bar. So that is now an 8-way win. I fucked it up again. There must be a real configuration that you can do to actually get the jackpot on this thing. Now we filled it up again. It is filling it up now. So what you've got here is like a respin type thing. So you can collect the nudges for the win, or you can just press start to get a respin. So we can respin again. Eventually it will force you to collect something. So I can respin again. Can't get worse than 60p. So we've got a £1 there. You can see there just one nudge for the £1. I quite like the job they've done with the basic sound hardware as well. So only a £1 off that one. So when you fill up the little devil logo, there's like a few different things it can give you in terms of a bonus feature. The unlimited nudges is the one that obviously should be a jackpot. But every single time I've had it, I have fucked it up and have not managed to get a jackpot. I haven't had, and I've tried. I must be being really shit. I must be missing something. I've tried to get the 3 little devils for the actual jackpot, and every single time it won't hold for it. It won't. There is a real configuration where you can hold it on 1 and 2, where it could drop in, but it never seems to do. And I always mess it up when I've got the unlimited nudges. But like I say, the machine is token happy. There's a real configuration as well where you can get, I think it's the double bars and the single, the triple bars and the single bars for like a £3.40 win. So we've already had a token win. There are definitely token wins in there, but actually getting the jackpot, what the knack is to get the jackpot on this, I am not sure. And I spent a slightly unreasonable amount of time the other night trying to do so. So we'll see. Now the problem is because your Joker man is wild. There's no way I can leave myself with it. Whatever I nudge there, if I nudge reel 2, it'll give me the melons. If I nudge reel 3, it'll give me the single bars. So it's really hard to get the setup for the jackpot. The other thing, by the way, is that when you press the cancel for the secret hold to get the win to hold, you can't then cancel it and just try holding the 2 jackpots to see if you can if it'll spin in. So it's a really hard job to actually get the jackpot on this, unless I'm completely misunderstanding how you're supposed to do it, which of course is entirely possible. Okay, we've just filled it up again. Oh, it's going to be the respin thing, which is not really any good, to be honest. So even if we oh, it's just, so the feature repeats, that's the thing. When you get that noise, the feature... Oh, there we are, now we've got unlimited nudges again. So, how do I get... So you can see here, now, obviously I've got to be careful. I can't nudge in a... Oh, for fuck's sake, I just nudged in melons. Oh, for fuck's sake, Degsy. Okay, so we've got a real match thing. That's a fill up on the little devil. And you see there, it's giving me a real... I'm going to deliberately miss that because I am determined to get... So that'll give us a feature repeat. See there, it makes the weird noise. We get a feature repeat. Oh, it's just going for a real... Let's see if we can miss it again. There we are. It's done it again. So we get the bloopy-bleepy noise. Oh, is it just going to keep doing real match? See there, it will give it, it's doing the repeat on it, but... Oh, it can go for a different feature. You can see there, it can go for a different feature. I mean, there are obviously ways it could just spin a jackpot straight in here, but it just doesn't seem to want to do it. I'm absolutely sure I'm missing some really simple way to get the jackpot on this, but it's been vexing me now for like I say, a slightly unreasonable amount of time. No, I'm going to... There we are. So that'll repeat the feature. Let's get the unlimited nudges again. No, that's the real... Not intro... Oh, I actually stopped at the quid there by accident. Is it going to go again? No, I've fucked it there. We're going to have to wait for the unlimited nudges again. One thing, by the way, if you try and do the wrong thing on a hold after nudges, this is a hold after nudges, so if I try and actually hold something rather than let them spin, see there it says oops, and then if you do it like twice on the trot, it will eventually let you do the wrong thing. So it does try and help you, and if you get like the tic-tac-toe thing wrong, it'll give you an oops and repeat it again. You get 3 shots at it in total. And if you fuck it up 3 times on the trot, it will then just let you do the wrong thing. I'm determined to get that unlimited nudges again. And we'll try and get the fecking jackpot. Okay, we filled it up. Logo filled up. What have we got? It's unlimited nudges. Right, let me just think about this here. How can I do this without... Obviously I need... So I can't nudge down the middle reel. But let's just find something that's safe on the right hand side. What's the safest reel configuration there to avoid a win that I don't want? So I can't nudge in a win there. Ugh. No, I messed it up again. How do you even do that when they're wild? What am I missing here? How can you nudge that in? How can you nudge the jackpot in when both of them are wild? Well, that's a hold after nudges, so let's see what it wants to give me there. It should be at least £2.40, shouldn't it? Oh, and that's the, you can see there, that's a £3.40 reel configuration. Oh, there it has held. See there, we got our secret hold. And then it auto collects the tokens. Why can I not see how... Oh, it's held again. There we are, another 340. So that's quite good. I'm just not understanding why I can't see that reel configuration. Because if the jokers are wild, how can you get all 3 in view before it actually puts a win in there? So there's £2.40. It is happy to pay. I mean, because I'm playing it deliberately stupid to try and get the bloody jackpot. So we've got another £2.40. It hasn't held. And there are real hold opportunities. It does give you setups on the reels where you can hold for the 2 jackpot symbols. And it could spin it in if it wants to. But it just never ever seems to. See, like there, it could. I mean, it hasn't. But it could just give a hold there. So that's just a normal spin. I could hold reels 2 and 3 and it could spin the jackpot in on reel 1. But it never ever seems to do it. See, and that was after a nudge. I had 1 nudge there and nudged in reel 3. So it could theoretically give a hold after nudges in that configuration, which should spin in a jackpot, but it never seems to do that either. PCP, of course, were the masters of the remake. I don't think they built any of their own machines. I think they only did rebuilds. I don't remember ever seeing a PCP machine that was like brand new right from the off. They only rebuilt into previous cabinets as far as I'm aware. It did do the secret hold there. I don't want it. I just want the jackpot. Oh my god, it finally just dropped in. Oh, have you not even held after... Oh, God almighty. It did just finally drop in on the spin. I've paused Bandicam. I'm spending a reasonable amount of time on this. So we did just get the jackpot on the reel. So fuck knows how much money I have put through this on my main PC upstairs over the last few nights trying to get the jackpot in. So it can eventually just drop in like that. Fucking hell. I'm not sure if there's a real configuration off the unlimited nudges. There must be. Must just be being shit. That must be what it is. But okay, we finally caught. Didn't quite get the whole jackpot tune, I'm afraid, but we did at least get the jackpot on the reels. So, have a go at this for yourself. It's quite a fun machine. I find it far more enjoyable than the two Jolly machines, Jolly Joker and Jolly Taverner. And it is unusual to see one of these old PCP machines on an actual £4.80 jackpot. I didn't realise they had punted this thing out on a £4.80 jackpot, but I will move on to the next one now, which is Sudden Impact. Now then, there were a whole load of these back in the day. There was Sudden Impact, there was Spotlight, there was Searchlight, there was the one called Highlight. Maygay did a whole series of these, and they started off on a £4.80 jackpot. Now, we've got it here on £3 cash, £6 token jackpot. The thing with these is they have been emulated for a very long time, but it's only just in the last couple of weeks that we've got the proper kind of big boy ROMs that you can run on 20p, £6. 20p, £4.80 would have been better, but this is an improvement over everything that we've had up to now. And this is a Vectra 666 layout released 6 days ago as I make this video. With like I say, the key thing here is not that this machine is emulated. It's been emulated for ages. It's that we've actually got a proper ROM for it, because these things lived on, particularly in seaside arcades. There were fucking loads of them around on dreadful 2p play was the worst. These were around on 2p play. They were also around on 5p play, and it, you know, if you weren't in the pubs in like 1990, 1991, you would have never seen one of these things on its proper jackpot. But I very, very clearly remember when one of this family of machines turned up in a pub in Radcliffe as a brand new thing. Your jackpot there was £4.80, your cash repeater was £2.40, and we were blown away by the sound, because this was one of these machines that was kind of like Maygay's synth era. I've talked about this in a couple of the previous videos, and we had this kind of transition time between the old style bloopy-bleepy effects and your samples, your full sample packs that came in a little bit later. This was Maygay's in-betweeny, where they were using these kind of synthy style sound effects, a little bit more modern than the older bloopy-bleepy sound effects. And we thought it sounded, I remember in the pub, me and my friends go, oh, this fruit machine sounds really good. So even though it's like a very basic, I mean, you could just about at a push call it a mid-tech. It does have some features here that pop up from time to time. But the thing here is, I know it sounds stupid in the year 2021, but in the year, 1990, maybe 1991, when this thing came out, the sound effects and the music were quite a big deal. So I'll put a few quid in, and you can listen to what WoW does back in, fucking 30 years ago. And that is quite a familiar sound, because Maygay did have this transition phase where I think Monopoly, of course, and Monopoly and Amiga and Bargain, some of those early machines, when they didn't have much space in the sound ROM, they kind of used some of these old synthy style effects and some samples, but this machine just purely does the synthy sounds stuff going on. So we'll get a few quid through it. The feature, by the way, just kind of comes up whenever it wants to. Can't really control that, and you get as many goes as you want to put the barcode in. It's like, 1, 2, 3. Honestly, folks, there was a time when that was really quite impressive. So yeah, when you get the feature thing, you can put your barcode in 132. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, etc. And there are 6 features down there. Generally speaking, there was not really any reason to take anything other than 10 nudges if your triple bars were on, or the jackpot, or win series was the other one that I always used to go for. Well, might get a Oh, you can get a hold after nudges for anything on this thing, so it can be fairly generous in that regard. And then once you get onto the wins, by the way, there are no feature exchanges on the wins. It's just a straight gamble up, death or glory. And if you lose a gamble, you lose the lot. So we'll get into the, come on, 10 numbers. There we are, so that's in. There we are. Get some... I promise you folks that there was a... Oh, what the fuck? Going lower than 10, get that. There was a time when that was a genuinely impressive sound here coming out of Fruit Machine. I'm not saying that this was the first one that was released, but this is the first one that I remember in a pub. This is when Barcrest still had stuff like High Rise, which is a really great Barcrest AWP, by the way, but that had the older style, there we'll hold them, that had the older style MPU4 bloopy-bleepy sound. And then this thing turned up in a pub, because they had two fruit machines. They always had two fruit machines in this pub. I'll bring it up on screen here, because I do remember the pub that this thing first turned up in. And compared to the sound that the MPU4 Barcrest was turning out at the time, this thing was really quite something. So we've got plenty of numbers there. So we're going to go high. Oh, there we are. I would usually bottle out and collect the £2 here. But for the... Oh, fuck. It doesn't like you gambling on dodgy numbers, that's the thing. And we definitely need to get the feature as well. Apart from the little features down here, which come up, like I say, kind of at random. The basic game itself is absolutely as you see here. It does obey hold after nudges, but there are no feature exchanges when you're in the cash. It's just you just have to kind of gamble or collect. No, so we got a £1 there, but lots of gambles required to get to the top, and there it doesn't want that one, does it? Okay, let's see if we can have a gamble here. Out to the top, 9. Decent chance we're on a 9. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, we'll gamble this one out. We're going to have to start from a £1. Oh dear, that's probably going to lose, isn't it? Ooh, higher than a 6. What do you reckon? Okay, we're still going. 2 more gambles. Oh, fucking hell, you collect that. I would have completely bottled that and collected it, and I should have collected it. Okay, higher than a 1. Higher than a 6. Oh dear. Okay, drop cherries in. Come on, let's get out to the repeater. Hi, that's a sketchy gamble. Okay, grapes. That's looking good. Higher than a 5. Higher than a 6 for the repeater. Oh no, repeater. That cost a fair... Oh, there's the feature. There's the feature though. Right, okay. See that weird noise it just makes? You go 1, 2, 3 for stop a win. 1, 3, 2 for skill climb. You can imagine how good I am at that. 2, 1, 3 for fruit lines. 2, 3, 1 is 10 nudges. 10 nudges is not looking good because the 7's just under. Then you can go 3, 1, 2 for win series or 3, 2, 1 for skill climb. So obviously I'll... Ooh, what you... Ooh. Oh, hang on. It's on there for 10 nudges, isn't it? What was... Can you... What was... There we are. Okay, who miscounted there? Fucking hell. Even when you can cheat with the reals, Degsy, you still fuck it up. Well, that was slightly embarrassing. You get the idea. Right, even I can't miss with that. There we are. We'll get a repeater out of that. So we'll get our £3 plus repeat chance. We need to get another feature there because that was... Oh, repeat. There we are. Nice £3 repeater. It 2 repeats. It could do 2 repeats. No, not on this occasion. So what we'll do, I'll try and have a crack at... let's get the other features and see them in order. Okay, so here is a feature. Now, obviously, 10 nudges there is a shoo-in for the jackpot. So we can get the jackpot sequence, I will take 10 nudges and then we'll go through the other features. That's a nice, easy setup there for 10 for the jackpot of 10 nudges. You know, that sounds very much like a Yamaha keyboard. I would kind of bet money that that's a Yamaha sound chip in this one. A lot of fruit machines, the other sound chip at the time, the earlier one, was the AY sound chip. We were chatting about this over at Desert Island Fruits, trying to work out exactly what hardware was in these things. Obviously, it's the kind of question that Chris would know the answer to, but he's not around to ask anymore. So we're kind of trying to fill in the blanks on it. One of those things that I wish I would have asked at the time, some kind of data sheets for what was in these machines. Because I'd be really interested to know exactly what the hardware was, because this sounds to me, it really reminds me, as daft as this sounds, it reminds me of a keyboard that we had in music class at school when I was doing my GCSEs. It's got that Yamaha 80s sound to it. And it probably is, because, I mean, bear in mind, Maygay, your Barcrest, they're not going to build their own sound hardware, because the cost of developing, a chip like that would be astronomical relative to the market they were servicing. So they are going to be buying off-the-shelf components. So this will have been a sound chip that was being used in other applications around this time, and fruit machine manufacturers were generally a little bit later on when the things got cheaper, because of course all of these things were always being built to a cost, but they weren't kind of luxury products. They were building them ultimately as cheaply as they could get away with to make the maximum profit that they could, but still make a product that was appealing for the market. A little bit like the whole thing with the DMD plasma display on Big Chief and Apache, whereby, okay, they would sometimes try things, but if it didn't make financial sense, they wouldn't do it. It was all about, ultimately, whatever they put into these machines was a financial calculation. Oh, there we are, nice repeat. But did it make them more money at the end of the day? So Maygay on this one felt the drive. Oh, one repeat there. Felt the drive that it was worth it for them to put this slightly beefier sound hardware in there. Which, like I say, this is the first one that I remember. I'm not saying Maygay did it first, but they're the first one that I remember having this kind of improved sound hardware with a machine that sounded quite unlike all of its contemporaries that were around by other manufacturers at that time. Okay, here's the feature again, so let's go through them in order. Well, we'll do stop a win, which is exactly what it sounds like. So this was not one to collect, because it's going to spin all the reels around super fast. I mean, if you're supposed to be able to see that, I can't. I mean, you can sort of see the sevens in there, but I don't know what. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! Why? You know what? Is that a true skill? I don't know. I could just about get eyes on them there, but there was no reason to collect that. It seemed really high risk. I mean, win series, if the 10 nudges weren't the double bars or the jackpot, the win series seemed to be like a fairly safe bet. I'm going to deliberately lose that gamble just so we can get the feature again as quickly as possible. Yeah, how's coming? The machine's getting a bit happier now, so what can we get there? So we've just had stop a win. Oh, skill climb. Go on then, let's have skill climb. It just goes up the number trail here. As you know, skill climbs are my speciality. It does speed up quite quickly. Oh, go on, Degsy. Oh, no, I did fucking miss that. I was early there. Early. The problem with the skill climb was it didn't seem to because you get as many choices as you want. You can just keep hammering the barcode to get the one that you want. and all combinations are available from every single feature. It's not one of those like the will let you go higher than 12, by the way, like there. It's not one of those where, like, depending on the bars that you get, I think it was actually Maygay's bar game, was it? Where depending on the configuration between the number of single bars and double bars that you got, kind of instructed what feature you could take. On this, you can get any combination that you want from any feature trigger. So win series or 10 nudges always seem to be the way to go to me. But we've got, is it fruit lines we haven't had yet? So we'll take fruit lines on the next feature. Okay, another feature. So let's get fruit lines then, which is 2, 1, 3. So we've got our fruit lines, which I think is a step up, step down. So you can see there the problem with this. So, I mean, if we step up, can we get a... And there we are, so filled in the cherries. Not the best feature, that one. I didn't ever see a reason to collect that. So now we need to get win series, don't we? Here we are. So now we've got another... I can't remember what it was now. Yeah, there we are. So it's 3, 1, 2 for win series. This was always the low risk option, unless you had an obvious double bars or 7s for 10 nudges. Just take win series. So it's basically a shoe-in for a couple of quid, because you always get 2 wins, so you know you can't go wrong for. So there's 220. Oh, that was a really disappointing one, but certainly on the original £2.40, £4.80 configuration, because you would always get at least 2 wins, it was like a super low risk option. Oh, there's a hold after nudges, slightly more so, I guess, on the £3, £6 version, because you saw that gave us £2.20, but we have got a £3 repeat there. And there we are. Did like to repeat this. 1 repeat. It was always happy for 1 repeat. 2 repeats were rarer. And yeah, 3 repeats. God, once in a blue moon. But it did like to do 1 repeat. Could hold after nudges for just about anything. Doesn't obey the 3 hold rules though, as memory serves. Can we just get another... No, it hasn't held. So the thing with this is, with sudden impact here, not newly emulated by any stretch of the imagination. This was emulated back in the old school MFME days, back in like 2003, 2004. This, to my knowledge, is the first time we've had one of the proper ROM sets. With the best will in the world, I just couldn't play this thing on the 2p play, 5p play ROMs that we had. Not least because I remember it coming out on the proper stake and price combo in the pubs. And then I also remember it being farmed out to seaside arcades. And I do remember playing it in arcades in Blackpool on like 2p a go, 50p repeater, the jackpot, £2.40, whatever it was, that you just never ever got. A depressing machine to play. Although those later stake and prize combinations, once the thing was kind of out of the limelight on its main stake and prize. So the key thing here is that we've finally got it on a proper stake and prize combination. I would have loved to have had the £4.80 ROMs. I did say that to Vectra over at Desert Island Fruits, and he's like, yeah, but you know, this is what we've got. And yeah, absolutely right. It's better that we've got this, which is a definite advancement on what we had before. The thread over at Desert Island Fruits, by the way, we ended up chatting. There was a little bit of chat going on, which turned into a little bit of a sound hardware chat as well. People remembering a couple of things and remembering the samples, that kind of thing. So this is quite an interesting machine from that regard, in that it was this... All fruit machine manufacturers did this. They had this... mid-phase, I can get the right fucking layout back, they had this mid-phase between the older style effects and going to samples, this kind of synthy sound thing. Barcrest did it, Maygay did it, JPM did it with like your intrigues and your thrillers. I've always had a memory of these machines. It's been hard to play them in the emulator up to now because of those dreadful 2p, 5p ROMs, but now we've got 20p, £6 ROMs, which is almost perfect. The £4.80 ROMs were imperfect, but I've really enjoyed playing this in the emulator. And as ever, thank you to our layout designers. We've got credits there to Big J and Geddy for... But this is the thing, is very much these layout releases are often a sort of collective scene effort, just someone talking about something in a different thread. You can see there Big J bringing up the subject of the ROM and a different topic. So it's always nice when this happens, that all of a sudden out of nowhere, a machine that's been emulated for probably, 16, 17 years is finally available on what I would consider a stake and prize combination that gives the game justice. So definitely one that's worth your time, I think. And then final one for this video. I'm kind of saving the best for last here, because this was the sort of eye candy machine for the AWP Jackpot States video, which I remember playing in that pub in Radcliffe back in the day. This is another Vectra layout. It was re-released in the new era of fruit machine emulation. It's an older M1AB tech machine, but it's got the earlier style. It's actually on the same tech that Sudden Impact runs on. So Sudden Impact there runs on the same tech, M1AB. It's also the same tech that then saw Maygay into the sample era, with your Omegas, your Monopolies, even your screenplays and stuff like that were on M1AB. But this is an early revision of the tech before they brought in the new sound hardware and all those other nice little bits and pieces. But it's still a really great AWP, and this would have been very much a high tech of the day. It's a fairly straightforward affair in what you're doing. We've got 3 win lines are active at all times, so top, middle and bottom. Sometimes it will do a 4th and a 5th win line on the diagonals, and you need to get 50 numbers to get into the features there, and then you get a high-low gamble up. But there's also a little bit, so here we are, we're straight in. So you can collect cash account there, which is 60p. So we'll obviously not going to do that. We'll go, oh, fucking hell. Thank you very much for that. You can hold. Sometimes it will bring a win in on a hold. And so we can hold that there as well. Yeah, Maygay symbols of the £4.80 jackpot. But you can also do a little bit of a shimmy with banking the score. Now there's a bonus. Now I can gamble the bonus, or I can collect it, but I risk losing. So if I collect the bonus there, that's just like a boost base. That was a really shit boost. But we have got 50 numbers. So we're in. So if it will let me actually win a couple of gambles, I can show you one thing that you can do here. So what you can do is bank. So nudges are only worth £1, and I've got a shitty gamble up to wins unlimited. But what you can do is you can press bank score and bank it down. It's that button there. You can see bank, and then you get the text there says that you've got a 50-50 chance of holding over. But can you see there, every gamble that I'm doing, and that might hold, it hasn't held, but every gamble that you do like increases the nudges. So what you can do is, if the nudges aren't good when you get there, you can do a bank down and then hope to get a better win off. Oh, now, well, obviously we're just going to go straight for the big money there. So we'll gamble out for the big money. That should win for a £2.40 repeater. And this does like to repeat as well. It's a decent repeater, this. It likes to do 1. Come on. There we are. It likes to do 1. 2 is fairly common. It can do 3, and I think at the outside edge, very, very rarely it can do 4. There we are, that's out to 720. This is all cash. This was, remember, these things were fucking tokens, so £2.40 was your top cash prize. So this was like the dream repeater here. Can we get one more? Come on. Oh, no, so £7, as daft as it sounds, in the year 2021. £7.20 off a cash repeater was actually fairly exciting stuff when you got it. Oh, so we've got a free game. I'm going to gamble that, and then we go up to Scorch, which is basically just boost. So, oh, now the wins here, by the way, you can't exchange. You can see there, it does like to win the gamble. Let's have a go. We're up to 150. Oh, and then it just... Problem is, it auto collects if you lose down on the gamble. So that's the one weakness with there. Where we'll hold all those. You can see there we've got 20 numbers, so that'll take us up to straight up to 60. Now this real skill feature, I'll take the real skill feature and embarrass myself. I'm there, so your sighter there, I use the 10-5-10 as my sighter. Like that. Can you see there? And it will speed up now. So I've got that 10-5-10 as my sighter. Oh, fuck. Come on. Oh, just about. Oh, just about. Oh, one off. You can see there. It's in fairness, it's fairly, you can hit it on any of those positions. Even back in the day, I was not a big fan of real skill because I couldn't hit it when it. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to. I don't know if a good enough player could always hit the real skill on this. It's the kind of thing that was fairly common on machines of the day, that if you were good enough at a low down skill feature, you could take it out to the cash repeater, but I was never that good at it. If we hit real skill, there we are. So if we can get up to real skill, see there, it's only 2 up. Number 1 is just shite. So, are we gonna have another go? Oh. So what I'll show you here, maybe. So we've already got £2.40. Oh, now we can't lose the gamble, so obviously you would take the gamble there. What I will do here is collect wins unlimited, which is basically a win series. So we've got £10.10. Let's see. It was always a decent collect this. It was generally a shoe-in for £2. It's got all 5 win lines active. So I think that's £1.60, is it there we've got? And now £2.20. Oh, it's going again. 220, yep, so is that 320, I think? Is that right? 320? Oh, there we are. That's not bad. What was it? £10.10 I had. So, and it's funny. So, wins unlimited there was always worth collecting. No point going for the big money on a dodgy gamble. Just always collect wins unlimited. But you can do a little bit of slightly shady stuff by banking the score down. And let's just see if we can get up there again. It might, just about say it might lose there, which it did. Certainly the way to get the jackpot, generally speaking, is off the nudges here. On the because obviously you've got the big money at the top, and that doesn't look like a setup for the jackpot there, but you can get that bank thing going on. So if the nudge money is not good, so what you can do there is bank it down and then gamble up again, and then you'll get another nudge. Bank it down, gamble up again if you can. It might hold. No, it hasn't held rather. So there's a little bit more going on than you might think. And this is back when, by the way, this was like the absolutely quintessential change from the round machine. This is when you could buy some pints, get your round. Oh, Scott! Now this is a skill shot here. Oh, missed the 60. When you could just get the round in, and like if you just had like a couple of pound coins, you could put it into a machine like this and have a half decent shot at getting a feature, getting a little bit of playtime for your money. The kind of thing that doesn't exist anymore, of course. So you see there, I'm trying to get the nudges up. I don't know how far away the jackpot is, I've got to be honest with you. Oh, no jackpot there. So, okay then. But what you can do, I'm not sure how much value there is in doing this. It will let you bank it all the way down like that. But you see there, it's held. Now what you can find there is it'll boost straight up like that. I'm still not convinced that it's actually a viable tactic. It's like, because the jackpot is the cash repeater. Oh, repeat any chance? Oh, there we are. Because you're only going for £2.40 repeater, I'm not entirely convinced if it's going to let you gamble it out anyway, if there's any great value in doing the thing with the bank score. Oh, another repeat! There we are. It's a nice bank on this thing. But it is something to play around with, is banking your score. certainly for the nudges, it's definitely worth it for the nudges. If you can see a decent win on for the nudges, but you're like 1 or 2 nudges short, it will do an auto-collect there. Oh, no repeat. So, yeah, definitely worth it for the nudges. Bank it back, bank it down, and then see if you can just get the extra nudges that you need. But sometime that will be where the jackpots come from. Shall we have a go at real skill? Right, here we are. Oh god, there's a lot of blanks in there, isn't there? And it will start speeding up. Oh, I was a bit too hasty there. That was silly. But this would be, I would say, one of the machines that it goes on the list for me that one I can always load up and just put a few quid through. It's a really great AWP. And a very, very soft profile one as well. And I'm not sure if this was one of the machines, because so many machines at this time were completely fuckable. So chumps like me just came along and just filled them up. So players who knew what they were doing in various different ways with all the shenanigans that existed at the time could ream the machine after I had done my munterish filling it up. But this one, I've got memories of this always giving a fairly fair game. It did. I'm going to have another. So you can see that it's speeding up on the first one, and you can see there's a lot of blanks in there. Oh, Degsy, that was fucking too hasty again. And it's definitely one that if you haven't, given it a go in the emulator, it's definitely worth your time, I would think. What I will try and do here, I think, is... Oh, high-low numbers. There we are. But you can see how much gameplay you get for just a few pounds in. Even if the thing was in a bad mood, you will at least get a little bit of gameplay out of it. What we'll try and do is get a jackpot set up. We've always got our 3 win lines. It's sometimes worth just holding 2 of a kind, because it will spin them in. Oh, that was a bit harsh. Okay, definite jackpot potential on this board. I was about to say the jackpot's only 4 nudges off there, but 5 nudges, but it wanted to kill me on the first gamble. There's a good example, by the way, of how a jackpot isn't always a jackpot. It can light up win lines 4 and 5 during normal play. It hasn't done it there, and we do have a jackpot on what would be win line. Is that 4 or 5? Win line 5, I think. Yeah, left to right, but not on this occasion. Okay, we have got the jackpot set up there off nudges, you can see there. So let's take a jackpot. We'll have a jackpot sequence. Yeah, admittedly, it's not too impressive by modern standards, but jackpots were fairly rare on this machine. It was very much geared towards the cash wins. But I think Maygay kind of knew on this that people weren't overly excited about winning fucking tokens all the time. So they geared this machine, as did other manufacturers at the time, they geared it more toward... Fuck off. They geared it more towards... The cash wins, the win streaks, so you've got wins unlimited, you've got your £2.40 repeater here. And that was where the jackpots were a little bit more of a rare thing. It wasn't like your 7-7 Heavens and your low-tech kind of streaky style machines, which really weighed in heavily to the jackpots. Your high-tech style machines at the time did lean more into the cash side of things, so it was fairly unusual. It wasn't, to actually have a load of tokens in your hand, it was actually fairly unusual on these machines because they did lean very much more into the cash wins. And on that, I think we'll try and get it out to one more bloody wins unlimited or a £2.40 repeater. And it's not in a great mood, this thing, to be honest with you. Let's just collect, gamble that note, lose, doesn't want it. Well, we can't lose that one. Let's have one last cash repeater. Let's see if we can get... We've not done too bad on the repeats, to be honest. It's been reasonably generous with the repeats. Let's see if we can get the cherished £9.60 repeater. There we are. It really likes to repeat at least once, this thing. And this was the biggest cash repeater of the time. That was as good as it got, a £2.40 cash repeater. Oh, there. No, we're not quite getting past 720, are we? But we'll have that. Ooh, jackpot symbols there. No, it didn't even give me the hold. Worth hold that there. Yeah, we'll hold that. We've got the 5 win lines going on. Oh, sometimes it'll do it, by the way. Off super hold. That can happen. It will do it off super hold sometimes. Oh, is it going to hold again? No, it's not going to hold again. But you can get that where the hold misses, but like this, it will give you a super hold for it. We've got loads of numbers there, haven't we? Let's just see. Let's just see if we can get one more 240 repeater. Dodgy number, sketchy number. Oh, now there you would just collect. Let's just see what Wins Unlimited wants to give. So we're starting off at 480. So there's a quid. No point risking that gamble there. So that's £1.60. I think it should go again. Yeah, £2 minimum I think on this, isn't it? There's your 2 quid. There's your 2 quid. It's still going. Ooh, there's 240. So we've got our 240. Oh, there we are. So that was the thing with Wins Unlimited. I think it was. The text might actually say that. I can't remember if it was like it will guarantee you £2 at least. But anyway, no point gambling on a sketchy number for the repeater. So there we are. I'll wrap this one up here. I've got to say I'm a little bit, well, I say disappointed. They kind of fulfilled my expectations insofar as I was never much impressed with these machines when they were kind of live in the pubs, and I was disappointed to see them in pubs. But hats off to Big J for his first layout there. Thank you very much to Bungle as well for the assist on Jolly Joker and for the release of Jolly Taverner. They had no artwork on Jolly Taverner, by the way, or just some really shit artwork. So that is kind of a PDX. So there's a lot of work gone into recreating that machine. And even if you don't like the machine, as I don't particularly like these two, but the fact that these things are emulated now and they're preserved is the important thing. So even if it's not a machine that I particularly like, I will always sort of doff my cap and say thank you very much to the layout designers, everyone involved, getting the ROMs, the artwork and all the rest of it to bring these things to the emulator and preserve them. Like I said, they're not my favourite machines, I've got to be honest, but I'm glad they're done. I much prefer Little Devil. That's a really interesting one. Thank you to Multi Retro Man for that release. It's a quirky little machine, that, and I'm not sure I've worked out everything that's going on with it. Sudden Impact there, really good to see that on the proper ROMs of Vectra DX there, so thank you to Vectra. And also thank you to Vectra for Manhattan Skylines. I am very much aware that the fact that we can enjoy any of this is always reliant on the commitment and the effort that these dedicated people on the Fruit Machine emulation scene make. And just the fact that I can play a machine like Manhattan Skylines, which I probably played, must be pretty much bang on 30 years ago that I last played this in that pub down in Radcliffe, and now it's emulated with this fantastic DX here to play in the year 2021. And of course always it's thank you to Chris, who sadly is no longer with us but lives on through his emulator. So a little bit of an oldie school low jackpot reminiscing session there, but don't write these machines off. Even I mean, fucking hell, I put 100 quid through Jolly Taverner before, just trying to fill that fucking stupid face up, and I still couldn't do it. So I mean, do let me know what happens when you actually manage to fill his silly face in. But these lower stake machines, these lower stake, lower prize machines, are a source of constant entertainment to me when it comes to Fruit Machine emulation, and I can often fire them up and just spend half an hour or an hour playing machines like this, and they're often capable of surprising you. Because the jackpot is so small, they are often capable of surprising you with how they can play. But I will wrap this one up here, so thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch up with you next time, but for now it is goodbye.